Ariana Grande is opening up about how triggering Wicked was for her after many people have speculated that there is a curse on set that have left the Wicked castmates with lasting trauma. 50 Cent needs to be careful because Diddy is going to try to have him killed. I mean, Diddy did send funeral flowers to 50 Cent at the club, and it looks like 50 Cent will be safe for a couple of years, but once Diddy is out, he will seek revenge. The singer David has not been arrested for the murder of Celeste Hernandez, but he has figured out a new way to switch the narrative, and now his team is going to make it seem like David was influenced by his problematic friends, and it was their idea to murder, not his. Ellen DeGeneres is coming back to the United States even though nobody wants her to. She's absolutely miserable in the UK, and it looks like Ellen wants to bring her misery back to Los Angeles. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the Let's Get Into It podcast all the way from Hong Kong. I have a lot to talk to you guys about today. We're going to be talking about Diddy, Ellen DeGeneres coming back to the US, Blake Lively, Taylor Swift, Triggered. I've got an update on David for you guys, but I want to kick off this episode by talking about Ariana Grande. Let's get into Ariana Grande.
Alpha Baba was ultimately ends up with the true love. And
yeah, Glinda's starting from the ground up, as she should, as she deserves to, because she has some wrongs to right.
What about down the line, the Tin Man?
And Glinda?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I don't know, man.
It seems right. It seems like there's an
hope.
Honest affection.
There's hope there.
Yes.
Who knows?
I know.
I'm crying.
Adam Sandler made Ariana Grande so uncomfortable. I know they were talking about their characters there, but it seems like he was alluding to Ethan Slater. Sounds like Adam is approving of Ari's relationship with Ethan. But speaking of triggers, Ariana Grande said she invented triggers for her Wicked role to avoid her own pain. Ariana has opened up about the emotional challenges of filming Wicked. We've all talked about this Wicked curse and what's happened behind the scenes to all these actresses. Sounds like something did go down. Ariana said that she's a crier in life, but it's not as easy when you're performing. It's not a party trick. She said that she invented triggers for Glinda so that she didn't have to touch her own triggers because certain themes in this film are so adjacent to her own life. I had to design her pain so I didn't need to reference my own. Ariana also revealed that the gown that she wore in Wicked left her with little scratches, but shrugged it off, saying anything for the craft. It looks like she had bruises and scratches from her outfit. Hopefully those things have healed by now. Ariana also told Adam Sandler that she had to beg for this audition. I mean, this role really kicked off her new movie stardom. I mean, she was an actress back then, but like Nickelodeon, no one took it seriously. But now that she's been in Wicked, she's got so many more film opportunities. She said, I begged for an audition. I didn't know if they would even consider it, seeing me for it, but I really begged. I had to beg them to let me audition because they didn't want anyone that they knew to play these roles. I guess like they didn't want someone so famous, like an Ariana Grande, to go and play this role, but she wanted to prove to them that she could do it. In another bizarre Ariana Grande update, do you guys remember that guy, that Johnson Wen, who attacked her while she was in Singapore? Well, it looks like he was permanently banned from Lady Gaga's concert in Australia. They literally printed out his picture on the security brief, and I'm so glad that the world is noticing the problems and actually, proposing solutions. This guy is a problem and he'll never get close to another celebrity again. This person writes, honestly good. This guy seems to get off on invading celebrity spaces and he thinks he's funny for doing it. So keep him out of the venues. Stop feeding his need for attention. Somebody else asked, could you make out what the paper says? And this person wrote, do not let him in and inform team leader or event control ASAP. He's banned from all Marvel events. Somebody said that Cynthia Erivo got more backlash than he did. Somebody else asked, really? I only saw people praising her quick response and protective nature. But TikTok has been horrible about it, saying that Cynthia is too possessive. And honestly, I feel like the internet has probably ruined Ariana and Cynthia's relationship. Let's get into Diddy. If I was Diddy, I'd probably try to keep a low profile and not send funeral flowers to the guy who created the documentary about me. I mean, that's exactly what Diddy did. Allegedly, he sent 50 Cent a bunch of funeral flowers to a club, probably trying to hint that he's going to try to seek revenge one day. I mean, I know 50 Cent isn't scared, but I would still want your back. I don't know if you guys have tuned into this new 50 Cent Diddy documentary, but it is so good because they got unseen footage that Diddy was recording up until his trial. It seems like Diddy has a hard time paying people, which is probably why this footage is now in 50 Cent's possession. And you guys can see in these video clips that Diddy wasn't happy with his team or confident in his case. He could tell that he was losing, and he blamed his lawyers for this.
Listen to me. I'm gonna get off the phone right now, and I am going to let you professionals look at the situation and come back to me with a solution. No matter what, no matter what nobody said. Let's just here and there. Y'all are not working together the right way. We're losing.
I mean, now he's trying to go after the Netflix documentary, but like a little too late. You're behind bars, accept defeat. He probably also didn't pay the person who filmed the original content, and 50 Cent did. Diddy said, we have to find somebody that will work with us, that has dealt with the dirtiest of dirty business. We're losing. So he even knew how bad his case was, which just makes me even sadder because, like, why did he not get like a longer sentencing? I mean, he'll be out in just a couple of years.
So Diddy, he hired a videographer to follow him around, and then that's where they got the footage from.
That is hilarious. No, that waives attorney-client privilege. When you have a third party present, especially a videographer who's there recording the whole thing for something else, 100% waives attorney-client privilege. And now, given Diddy's conviction and all the stuff that came out at trial, he's gonna have a really tough time making any kind of defamation or other claim that this documentary damaged Diddy's reputation.
Diddy's lawyer, Mark Gargaros, is not happy that he has been secretly recorded without his knowledge. Lawyers are really particular about their ethics, and if they were aware that their client was recording them on the other line, they probably would not be having that phone conversation. So there's a lot of people in Diddy's camp that are pissed off, including the people that he had hired, because now it's like their reputation's on the line. This person wrote, finding out 50 Cent agreed to do an interview with ABC news station only because it's one of the few stations they're allowed to watch in prison. He's a menace. Somebody else pointed out that they've never seen someone glow so much from pure pettiness. It's beautiful. I mean, I'm glad that 50 Cent is on his little like press tour, you know, dragging Diddy. They've had years of this feud and he's on the upside right now, but I'll just be careful because everything that goes up must go down.
Your favorite villain?
My favorite villain? I kind of like Diddy.
Somebody else said that this is not pettiness. He's helping society. He's Batman. You guys remember Diddy's mother, the woman that he would have freak-offs with? I can't believe he had a freak-offs with his own mother, but he was also raised in an environment where his mom taught him how to freak off. Like, he was a young boy watching his mom get, sleazy. Well, she is very upset over this documentary, of course. Diddy's mother was quoted writing, I'm writing this statement to correct some of the lies presented in the Netflix documentary. The inaccuracies regarding my son Sean's upbringing and family life is intentionally done to mislead viewers and to harm our reputation. Wait, what, Janice? You don't want to acknowledge the freak-offs you held back in the day? She went on to defend some of the allegations made in this documentary against Diddy. She writes, the allegations stated by Mr. Kirk Burroughs that my son slapped me while we were conversing after the tragic City College events on December 28th, 1991 is false. That was a very sad day for all of us. You guys may not remember, but Diddy pretty much held this event in New York, and there were 9 people that died, 30 people injured. It's very like Astro World-esque, kind of Travis Scott. And I guess there was an incident where like Diddy and his mom were fighting, and he slapped his own mother because he was just, I don't know, who would ever effing do that? I don't know. Diddy. That kind of guy. So for now, Diddy is trying to threaten Netflix and pressure them to take the documentary off of their platform. But Netflix has a lot of power, and I don't think they plan on budging anytime soon.
Diddy is threatening to sue Netflix, and it's not for the reason that you might think. He's not saying that anything in this docuseries is false. He's saying that Netflix obtained this footage illegally, and it is stolen footage because it belongs to him. Except the footage is being reported to have come from the unpaid videographer, and Netflix is saying that we obtained this footage fair and square. And as of right now, Diddy has not shown any documents proving that he actually owns the footage. So his lawyers did send a cease and desist, but that doesn't mean that Netflix has to take it down. It's basically a warning that we will sue.
Netflix is defending themselves, saying that they do own this footage. They said it came to us, we obtained the footage legally, and we have the necessary rights. We moved heaven and earth to keep the filmmaker's identity confidential. One thing about Sean Combs is that he's always filming himself. It's been an obsession throughout the decades. We also reached out to his legal team for an interview and a comment, but did not hear back. There's an interesting story within this documentary that involves Biggie. So that same guy, Kirk Burroughs, that Janice said is lying, alleged that Diddy planned a massive funeral for Biggie Smalls after his 1997 murder. But it actually looks like Diddy did not throw this funeral for Biggie on his own. He actually charged Biggie's estate for it. Diddy was quoted saying, "We're going to have the biggest funeral for Biggie that New York has ever seen, but Biggie's going to have to pay for this funeral." Pretty much using the stunt for PR for his own personal gain, but not spending a coin to go and actually do something right.
The craziest thing revealed in the Diddy documentary is what he did after Biggie passed away. Diddy wanted to throw Biggie the biggest, most extravagant funeral that New York had ever seen. And that's what he did. Everyone in New York showed up to that funeral, but the co-founder of Bad Boys, Kirk Burroughs, claims that Diddy allegedly made the funeral a recoupable charge to Biggie in his death after he saw how much it was going to cost.
I have another side story involving the Diddy case involving Aubrey O'Day, former member of Danity Kane. Ever since Diddy has been investigated and arrested, she's been kind of giving us tidbits of information, but some people aren't buying it. I can't tell whether she has information or not, or she's just like a clout seeker. Aubrey claims that she was fired from the girl group because she rejected Diddy's sexual advances. She claimed that she often felt singled out by Diddy. Quote, "Diddy made it clear that I was the looker. I remember that phrase a lot. He was separating me, and there was a different set of expectations for me." Their working relationship later crossed a line because Aubrey claims that she received an explicit email from Diddy in 2008, which she reads out loud. And Aubrey really does believe that she was fired from Danity Kane because she did not go and hook up with Diddy. She didn't want to see his wiener picture or get those nasty emails. And honestly, I don't blame her.
There are emails with pictures of his parents. Here's one email.
So I do feel like maybe Aubrey kind of saved her stories for this documentary, which is probably part of the reason why she gave us little tidbits on social media, but she's really giving it to us all now.
I want to just you. I want to turn you out. I can see you being with some motherfucker that you tell what to do. I make my woman do what I tell her to do, and she loves it. I just want and like to do things different. I'm gonna finish watching this and finish master. Think of you, happy face. If you change your mind and get ready to do what I say, hit me, happy face. God
That would be so traumatizing to get that from your boss and to feel overwhelmed and pressured by that.
bless Diddy. God is the greatest.
Not him trying to drop God's name in this really nasty email. Like, what does God have to do with this? This person writes that Aubrey tried to tell us for 20 years and nobody listened. Another person says that Aubrey's been trying to get people to listen to her for decades. She was made out to be crazy, and it took all of this for people to finally pay attention to her story. It's really sad. Let's get into Ellen DeGeneres. Looks like Ellen is coming back to the United States. I don't know if anyone really wants her to come back, but she's coming back. And it looks like she and her wife Portia just thought the UK was too boring, which is kind of rude. It appears the California dream and lifestyle is not compatible with the damp British countryside. Shout out to all the people in the UK. Just 1 year after their big move where they made a big deal about it, they did a lot of press, tried to just explain to people that they're going to have this new life in the UK. They've backtracked and they're coming back home. It's pretty embarrassing. Like, they could have, like, they have so much money. They could have gone, rented a house there for a couple of months and then saw if they liked it or not and figured it out. But clearly nobody's thinking here. Sources reveal that Ellen and Portia are bored of their mansion in the UK. It looks like they're missing American life. Supposedly, Ellen has been climbing the walls. I don't know what that means. Like, kind of sounds like someone who's like locked into like a padded room. They're like climbing the walls because they're so bored. And she misses her social life. This is after they poured $20 million into making this home their own. And I really thought this move was in part to go and save their marriage because Portia was getting so tired of dealing with Ellen, especially after her show ended and she was home all the time. It looks like Ellen's PR team is trying to frame this as a way of Ellen just needed like a year break to go and reformulate her comeback, and this is what that was. But I'm not buying it. I feel like she just moved out. She thought she was all high and mighty and realized that she's not better than any of the other scummy people in the industry. She belongs right back there with them. Let's be real for a moment, because every time fall comes around, I realize I've been eating like it's a holiday buffet since September. I always say I'll slim down before winter, but then it's suddenly February and I'm at the same place. Now everyone's talking about GLP-1s, but I'm honestly scared of the shot, which is why I'm excited to talk to you guys about today's sponsor, Veracity. Veracity is an all-natural way to slim down, get more energy, and stay focused. They're changing how people think about health by going straight to the root of many issues, your metabolism. And if your goal is weight loss, try their Metabolism Ignite. It's the #1 doctor-recommended GLP-1 booster and GLP-1 alternative. No side effects, no allergens, it's natural and plant-based. Make the switch to GLP-1s the natural way. Head to veracityselfcare.com and use code SLOAN for up to 45% off your order. Once again, that's veracityselfcare.com for up to 45% off. And make sure you use my code SLOAN so they know I sent you. Thank you, Veracity, and enjoy the rest of this episode. So every year I hit that point in December where I think I'm going to find the perfect gift, but then the 15th rolls around and I've got nothing. That is exactly why I love Aura frames. It's a gift that feels personal without stressing you out. I've always struggled to shop for people I'm closest to, my mom in particular. And an Aura frame is a perfect gift because it's sentimental without overthinking it. And it's so easy to use. You can upload a bunch of photos and videos, unlimited amounts from your phone to the Aura frame. What's really special about an Aura frame is that it also shows up wrapped and ready to go. For a limited time, save on the perfect gift by going to auraframes.com to save $35 off Aura's best-selling Carver matte frames named #1 by Wirecutter by using my promo code SLOAN at checkout. That is auraframes.com, promo code SLOAN. This is an exclusive deal to my listeners, and these frames can sell out quickly. So order yours now to get it in time for the holidays, and remember to mention our show at checkout. Terms and conditions apply. Let's get into David. We're approaching the end of the year and we're starting to get some of those statistics on the biggest moments from the year. And it looks like David was the most Googled person of 2025, which is sick. I remember like one year it was Justin Bieber, it was Taylor Swift, one year it was Donald Trump. Now we've got David, this potential, well, I believe he's a murderer, but potential alleged murderer. Kind of like sad that he's getting like this kind of praise right now. Like he's probably happy to be the most Googled person. The body of the 15-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez was found severely decomposed in the front of his Tesla. Since then, we've really gotten no updates. You guys know I did speak to someone from the Emmy's office. They gave me details on her condition. We've talked about that in a past video, but according to Google Trends, it looks like David was the most Googled person. Then we have Jimmy Kimmel, Pope Leo, Kendrick Lamar. Right now, Detective Joshua Byers has filed a declaration and described their probe as an investigation into murder. They have had a jury that they've been speaking to see if they can go and pursue these charges or not. Maybe the jury is unsure of it because I cannot believe that he's not been arrested yet. I mean, let's be real. We don't even know where David is at this moment. Like, is he in Texas? Is he in LA? Has he left the country? I mean, I feel like he probably has like enough money where he could leave the country, but they'll probably go and hunt him down at this point. It seems like his friends Neo and Asia, they've been either keeping quiet or speaking to investigators. There was someone who did speak to The Sun recently and said that David was completely normal. I don't know if this is Blair Burke, his attorney's attempt to go and try to make her client seem like he's a normal guy, but they described their relationship with him, saying, I used to play video games with David. He's actually a really insane player. I'm pretty sure he's insane. He used to play Call of Duty, 2K, and a few others. I wonder if any of those games have like a plot to go and groom an 11-year-old and then ultimately chop her body up and murder her and leave her in the vehicle. The friend who asked to remain anonymous added that David kept to himself but had a sharp mind and showed no signs of being unstable, which I feel like he's probably not unstable. He's probably like smart. I mean, unfortunately, and I think that like Celeste, in my working theory, Celeste was threatening to expose him for their illegal relationship, and he thought to himself the only way to get out of this is to do that. The friend said that we'd stay online for hours at a time in a large video game lobbies, shooting the shit. He was definitely calm and quiet, but he was smart and completely normal. What I will say about him is that he was always surrounded by weird and odd people. Wait, is this again Blair Burke's attempt to go now shift the blame onto maybe some of David's friends? We do know that we believe that David was accompanied by someone and dismembered Celeste's body with someone else. That's because my source at the medical examiner's office explained to me that they determine the pressure of how bone is cut under this measurement of teeth. So essentially, there's different levels of force, and the way that they were able to examine the chops, it looked like there was several different levels of force, which would indicate that there were multiple people at it, going and trying to chop her up, someone who's stronger, someone who's weaker. There's definitely someone else involved. So is David's team, with all that money and that record label, going to try to blame this on someone else that he's friends with? Maybe Neo. Don't know why he would say specifically he was always surrounded by weird and odd people. I mean, if you were only playing video games with him and he seemed chill and unstable, how could you interpret that he's surrounded by these weird and odd people if he seemed very calm and collected? Maybe I'm just a little bit paranoid here, but that story seems planted. They took a seed, put it in there, a little soil, pat it down, some water, some sun, and yeah, they planted that narrative. Do you guys believe it? Let's get into Miley Cyrus. Miley Cyrus is now engaged to her younger man, Max Morando. He's very low-key. We don't know much about him. I actually do have a deep dive video that I've already researched about Max. If you guys want me to do that on my main channel, let me know in the comments below. Miley Cyrus is thrilled to be engaged, and it seems like she's kind of on a comeback tour. The ring is so her. It has a cool boho rock vibe to it. It's beautiful. They say that she didn't feel like she needed to announce her engagement. Max is a very private person, and it's influencing how she lives her life now. Miley and Max have been living together for years now. Sources say that she really thrives with him. They hang out a lot at home. They love creating music together. It's exactly the life she wanted. They say that she loves her life with Max. It's very normal and calm. She's very protective of her relationship. She's in a good place. Her family and her friends love Max as well.
Congratulations on your engagement.
Thank
I see
you
your
very
ring
much.
there. And exciting. Your fiance, I wonder if he realizes, Max is your fiance, that if he'd waited 3 weeks, he wouldn't have to come up with a Christmas gift.
This was Black Friday deal, baby.
Oh, I see.
Now, I know we should be excited about Miley's engagement to Max, but honestly, I'm more excited about those new teeth. All those celebrities get these big veneers like Selena Gomez, including Miley Cyrus, and she had the biggest chompers for years, but she just got her teeth redone, and she looks the best that she's looked in so long. Congratulations, Miley. This person pointed out that they look so much better. Those other veneers were massive. Somebody else said, no, those were like horse teeth, and she couldn't even close her mouth properly. She's glowing now. Crazy how much a difference her teeth can make. Somebody else said that she looks like the old Miley. Maybe Selena Gomez should go get hers redone too. Again, Selena Gomez is a beautiful woman, but those teeth, it's just how do you, I know how you eat. You definitely eat good because you got them big teeth, but talking is difficult. Her teeth are definitely too big. I wonder if it's affected her speech, which is what I'm saying too. I feel like, she says it's the lupus, but the teeth also, that's gotta be difficult. Right? You've got a fence in your mouth. Let's get into Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. It's so weird that this case is continuing to go on, and honestly, I don't know how to feel about it. There's clearly some media manipulation. This headline says, Justin Baldoni confirms he told pregnant Blake Lively that he is circumcised with Ryan Reynolds and 2 nannies around their home. Now, supposedly this conversation came up because Blake was asking him about circumcision. I don't know what the truth is anymore. According to legal filings, Justin visited Blake's New York City apartment in December 2022 when she was pregnant with her son. During that visit, the topic of circumcision came up. Blake's attorney, Michael, asked Justin Baldoni, did you at any point share with Miss Lively whether you were circumcised? He said yes. He was also asked whether he had ever shared this information about about his genitalia with any other work colleagues. He responded, "I don't talk about my genitalia, so no." When asked whether Blake ever directly asked him that question, he said directly no. Michael, the lawyer, later pressed for more details, asking about who was present at that moment when you relayed to Blake that you were circumcised. Blake said that there were people going all around. Mr. Ryan Reynolds was in and out of the conversation. She had, I think, 2 nannies. I felt like there was a housekeeper there. Her assistant was walking around. I think she had 2 assistants there as well. Her and I were sitting on the couch, but there were people all around us. In Blake Lively's amended complaint filed in January, she expanded on her earlier allegations, stating that she was one of the women, or 2, Justin had 1,000,000% made uncomfortable on set. Supposedly, Blake was disturbed by the fact that Justin described his own genitalia, among other things he did. This comment reads, "I don't know the whole story, but I promise I would not talk about anything until I was asked." It just seems a little creepy. I mean, how do you work it into a conversation otherwise? This comment reads, "Anyone who would weaponize and sexualize a conversation about circumcision, a medical procedure, says more about that person." By the way, the conversation took place in December 2022. He was not her boss. It was 2 parents talking about hard choices they make for their future children. Somebody else asked, "And is this supposed to equate harassment?" They were discussing the topic. Another person requoted the movie saying, "It ends with a yawn." Oh.
May I never, ever, ever come in contact with someone like Blake Lively. This whole case is so bananas to me, but for her to weaponize a simple conversation like this with someone who was friendly in conversation with her and use it against him like this is so bananas to me. This is taking it too far. I can't even believe that this is part of her complaint.
So there's a lot of mixed reactions to this news. On Reddit, this person writes, "So Justin was straight up being a weirdo since day one, and he wants us to think that he was the victim for being unfollowed by the entire cast and having to attend the premiere separately. I don't know how anyone defends him at this point. This is not normal information to share with your coworkers." Blake is also claiming that Justin fostered a hostile work environment for women, claiming that a female producer on set was referred to as Sax was mistreated by Justin Baldoni and another producer, Jamie Heath. Sax stated that she would walk off the movie if Justin behaved in that manner again. Sax also allegedly witnessed Justin being very dismissive of the screenwriter for the movie, Christy Hall. Jenny Slate, who played the sister of Justin Baldoni's character in the movie, allegedly voiced her concerns about Justin and Jamie Heath on set to Sax. Sax allegedly reached out to a Sony executive claiming that they were experiencing real issues on the movie set. Sax texted that they needed to replace Justin as a director and restrict Jamie Heath's set access. Sax repeatedly asked for an investigation for their complaints to be taken seriously and to have a more comfortable work environment for everyone going forward. But the production company, the studio, Wayfair, did not conduct an investigation. Sax's name is Alex Sax. She was a producer on the film, and she claims that there was a moment where she almost felt like physically threatened by Justin Baldoni. She said it was a very stressful day of shooting because we had a lot of work to do in a short amount of time. He came up behind a monitor where I was sitting and asked me how I thought the scene was going and if he was getting it, which I thought he did, and also expressed that I didn't believe that he needed more coverage of the scene. He then yelled at me, then slammed his hands on the director's chair next to me and walked away. It was the first time I ever felt physically intimidated. She revealed that he yelled at her during 3 different incidents, including a Zoom call in which he later apologized to her in front of the group. She also testified that it was not appropriate for Justin to invite the crew to the Russian baths to relax. I guess they would go to the Russian baths together. She allegedly raised her concerns with Jamie Heath about it and that he would talk to Justin Baldoni over it, but seems like that never happened. Also, what goes down in the Russian baths? Like, is that something? I've seen those videos on like the New York, like in New York, there's like these TikToks and like they all go into there and who knows what happens in there. Colleen Hoover is the author of this book and really at the center of this story because she's the one who created the story. And she's now saying it feels like a circus. She feels embarrassed that she's the person who wrote this. She said that this story was inspired by her mother's own story of abuse. And now it gives us PTSD to think about it. I feel awful. I almost feel like she's gone through through more with the aftermath of this film, more pain than she went through with my dad, just seeing the ugliness of it. I can't even recommend it anymore. I feel like the lawsuit has overshadowed it. I don't really remember much about the film. I've heard so much more about this lawsuit, and I'm way more invested in the lawsuit. So sorry, Colleen, that this is what happened, but you know what? Welcome to Hollywood. Let's get into Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift is taking a break now after making over $2 billion on her Eras tour that actually wrapped up about a year ago. And now it seems like she's focusing on her wedding planning with Travis Kelce. This report says that Taylor can leave a blank space on a check all she wants, but she wouldn't be able to buy her perfect wedding date from another couple at her favorite venue. A report claims that Taylor wanted to marry Travis on June 13th, naturally next year at the Ocean House in Rhode Island. But it looks like that date has already been held for another bride and groom. According to the report, Taylor unzipped her wallet and dropped a bag to try to get that date from the couple, but it looks like the couple do not want to give it up. Stephanie Levitt, an area director of sales and marketing for the venue, says that they would never allow one couple to buy another couple's wedding date. But I don't know. I mean, that venue is so insane that if you are renting out that venue for your wedding, you're already rich. So maybe they just don't need extra money. But if Taylor was like, I'm going to give you a lot of money to go and move your date, oh, I'll move it to wherever you want, Taylor. But Stephanie, the Ocean House representative, said that when clients choose their venue as their wedding venue, the agreement and the commitment between our teams are with that family, and that Ocean House would not allow another party or entity to come and step in. So Taylor Swift's billionaire status won't help her here. Even though Stephanie claims that they would not allow someone to go and pay off for someone else's wedding, I do feel like there's a level of truth to this. And actually, one person on TikTok shared that they learned that their mother's friend or whatever was going to get married here, but then decided to move the date because whoever bought their date from them offered to pay for their entire wedding on top of it. So if I was that bride and groom, I would probably accept it. I mean, it's a lot of money, and a date is a date, right? I mean, if you're really in love and the wedding, and that shouldn't matter. But it does matter to Taylor.
Taylor Swift's team might have told my sister's friend where and when she's getting married. Let me explain. My sister's friend, her mom was supposed to go to this beautiful wedding June 13th, 2026, but then all of a sudden the bride was like, sorry, I have to change the date. My sister's friend's mom was like, oh, no problem, like, why are you changing? She goes, well, this woman really wanted this date for her wedding. She said she would offer to pay, not only will she pay for the entire wedding if we move the date, she will also pay for a honeymoon. So it's someone very wealthy and who really wants to get married on June 13th, 2026. 13. Now, where was this wedding supposed to take place? Rhode Island. Now, this might be Taylor Swift, it might not be Taylor Swift, we didn't get a name, and I don't want to say the venue because I think that might be an invasion of privacy. Regardless who it is, it's someone very wealthy. But if it is in Rhode Island, who lives there? Taylor Swift lives there.
Let's get into Melanie Martinez. Speaking of glow-ups like Kris Jenner, Lindsay Lohan, Miley Cyrus, Melanie Martinez, of all people, has reappeared. Even though she's got some damning allegations against her, she's been trying to push through them and continue making music. I remember last time I've seen her go on tour, she had a huge mask on, and she didn't even look like a human, so people were gagged when they saw her on the red carpet. This comment reads, can someone please tell me why people are hating her in almost the big year of 2026? She essayed multiple of her friends, and she's made songs about a little girl being blank word. Also, if you critically look at a lot of her songs, especially in Crybaby, they are fetish content. Because she essayed someone, that doesn't ever go away. Hope that common information helps you understand. Oh, Melanie, how I wish you weren't evil. Another person quoted Melanie saying she never said no. If you aren't familiar with the allegations against Melanie Martinez, I've talked about them before on my channel, Sloan. Timothy Hellers was her friend at some point, but Melanie pushed things too far and made her uncomfortable. Timothy is a lady, just so you guys know, her name is Timothy Heller, but she came forward in December 2017 claiming that she was coerced into doing some inappropriate things by Melanie at a sleepover they were having. Melanie has kind of made a mockery of this. I do remember watching her movie. She kind of made a scene up where it was her and Timothy and doing these things. And yeah, I don't think that Melanie really respects Timothy at all. Timothy explains that she had a sleepover with Melanie where she was begged for hours to get intimate with her. Timothy says that she repeatedly said no, but then Melanie persisted until Timothy complied out of exhaustion and confusion.
Timothy claims that at the sleepover in 2015, after repeatedly telling Melanie Martinez, no, claims that Melanie got interested in doing things with her when she found out that Timothy might have a different sexual preference. At the time, Timothy had a boyfriend and said, no, like, I don't want to do anything. And Melanie said, oh, he doesn't have to know. But again, Timothy said no. But apparently this then went on for hours. Different questions trying to convince her, trying to do anything. Timothy got exhausted. At some point, Melanie convinced Timothy to smoke weed. I don't think convince is the right word. I think coerce is the correct word. Timothy, in her statement, said that she had said no. Even wished that the sleep would come so that she wouldn't have to feel this uncomfortable situation anymore. At this point, Melanie began touching her arm for around an hour, and she just like laid still, hoping it would stop. At some point, it even started to tickle, so she moved, and apparently this is where Melanie began bartering with Timothy, saying, well, if I see this, then we can stop, and blah, 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 blah. Again, Timothy just wanted this to end, so she showed her, and then Melanie essayed her. At the end of her statement, she says, I didn't say yes. I laid still while Melanie did everything to me. Never spoke about this night ever again.
In July 2024, Timothy released a video on TikTok talking about what she had gone through. She said, during the Me Too movement, I chose to speak out against my former friend who essayed me. I was young, naive, and I could never imagine how this would affect my life. This person pointed out that Timothy's story has never changed. Melanie straight up admitted to the assault, but stated, I thought it was consensual. But her fans still parade around saying it was disproven and that Timothy lied. Hopefully, Timothy is able to gain more traction and it actually sticks this time that Melanie is an awful person. But that is all I have for you guys for this Let's Get Into It podcast. I hope you enjoyed. Again, I'm all the way here in Hong Kong, but by the time you guys see this, I think I will be in Vietnam. My birthday is on Thursday, December 11th, so please tune in to Blind Item Breakdown for that episode. It would be my birthday wish. But thank you guys for tuning in. I love you all so much, and I'll see you soon. Bye, guys.